Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk to you about a few stocks that I opened some positions on, and of course the new IPO Figma. Let's jump into it right now. Off the bat here, Figma, I was only allocated one share. I heard a lot of chatter online about this of not enough shares. I went ahead and requested 10 shares and only got one, unfortunately, but the return was quite impressive at 244.87%. We're recording this at a market close, so that is why I wanted to do it now. We can see average cost was $33. I was only allocated one share. We can see when it listed right there on July 31st, 2025, and when parabolic there as high as 123, and we saw some of the highs right there. But as of this recording, that is what that return looks like. If you don't know what this company does, go ahead and pause the video and I'll let you read it right there, and you can see some information about what this company is actually doing with their key statistics. If we scroll down here, I always like to look at the market trends like I show you all. Here is what actually happened, right? It was partially filled. I tried to do a limit order, but then I canceled it because it was just skyrocketing too much, and we can see exactly where the people were buying it, at what price even, and we can see the price was just sky high. I'm holding on to this for the next 60 days, or actually I will get burned from Robinhood's IPO cycle from my understanding. So I'm just leaving it there. It's fun money, but that was my experience with Figma. Let's jump on to the next stock right now. My next stock here is NBIS. If you don't remember from my last video, I actually didn't open a position on that at the time. I was considering it, so I opened a position. Of course, I always like to be transparent with you all and show you what I own. So I own 6 shares, and that is my average cost at $50.94. And the market value is sitting at $315, and with an interest of only 3.07%, which is not significant, but it's nice to see in the short term. Of course, if you don't know what this company does, go ahead and pause it and I will leave it down there for you. We can see the performance of the stock has been quite impressive year to date, 86.63% as of the recording of this video. And if we go to the entire year, of course, 177.91. And if you're unsure of what this gap is, go ahead and look that up for yourself, or just watch my previous video. I did talk about what happened there. Of course, I was like to come down and see what Robinhood is doing and where are people buying it. We can see exactly where people were buying and selling, and of course hedge funds, what was going on there. Earnings, we are anticipating their earnings. It's coming up actually, so I'm excited to see what is actually going on with this company. It's just here in a few days. Go ahead and keep track of that. Let's jump on to the next stock right now. My next stock here is Oscar Health, ticker symbol OSCR, and this is an interesting company because of the way it's actually formulated around the business structure. I'll let you go ahead and read this description down here so you can understand more about what it does. They are basically revolutionizing the platforms for, individual health and small families. So I like to see that. Overall, the performance hasn't been the best since I bought it. You can see my average price right there is $14.77. Right now at the recording of this, $13.66. We can see if we come to the year to date, this is where it's a little underwhelming. Unfortunately, we're actually in the negative with this. Now, why did I buy this? 2 reasons. It is a platform technology, which we are moving forward into the future, of course, with everything going to be online like hims and hers, but this is at a much smaller scale. That's why I like the company. If you look at the 1 year, it still hasn't been doing good. This company overall has not been, I would say, the most exciting to watch, but it is promising to see where it could be going. And we can see it IPO'd back on March 3rd, 2021 for $36 a share. But overall, I think it's fun money at the moment, just seeing how the company does. I'll add more or trim depending on the performance of this stock, but it's something I wanted to share with you all, and I think it's something to look into for long term. Anyway, as we come down here to the bottom, we can see the key statistics, where the market cap is, highs and lows for the 52-week. And of course, I like to always come down to the trends. You know that. It's just nice to see what the community is actually doing on here. Hedge funds and of course insiders. And we know that they're going to be reporting earnings here very soon on August 6th, which is going to be in the pre-market. So I'm excited to see what happens, but we will keep all of you posted on this, of course. So I'm excited to see where the company goes long term. Let's move on to the next stock right now. My next stock here is quite interesting. It's called Roadblocks. If you're unfamiliar with it, it is an online gaming service. It's grown in popularity ever since the pandemic. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because of the amount of users on this platform. I was unaware aware of this company until about 3 or 4 months ago, and it's an interesting one to look at. So performance year to date, 116.87%, quite high. And the thing that you can notice is that this company hasn't been around that long. The company was founded in 2004. It has somewhat of a track record, but hasn't been around that long. Of course, the dot-com bubble was just before that. But we can see on the max time frame, this is quite an interesting chart to look at. We can see they IPO'd back on March 10th, 2021. And if we look at where their price per share was going, they actually skyrocketed back in 2021. Of course, we were in that bubble up to $134.72. And now we are all the way back down. You can see in 2022 where it hit and then some of the lows. And it really just didn't do anything for about, I would say about 3 years until momentum really started growing in the end of 2024 and 25. We can see during that April drop, it really dropped on April 4th back to $52.96 and skyrocketed. I like this company. I think it's interesting to watch. Will I open a position? I'm not sure, but it's something I wanted to share with you all. Now let's scroll down here and look at what is actually going on with this company as far as the trends. So we can see where Robinhood is, hedge funds, and of course insiders. It's always something I like to look at. And here is the most interesting part. Earnings was a mixed bag. We can see exactly where they are looking in the sense of quarter by quarter. Now, a company like this hasn't been around that long, like I said, in the sense of really showing how profitable they can be, but it's something I'm looking at long term because the performance of the stock year to date has been quite impressive. We don't know in the long term. Keep it in the back of your mind, add it to your watch list like I did right here. Yeah, we'll see how the company does long term. Let's move on to the next stock right now. My next stock here is actually going to be SoFi. If you're unfamiliar with it, go ahead and read that about section, pause the video if you'd like. Overall, the company is solid. It's based out of San Francisco, California, and I like where their company is going in the long term. I would say they have an edge in ways to Robinhood, depending on how they structure things moving forward with their investing and their banking. Now, if we look at the max time frame, it changes the picture a bit. When they IPO'd back in 2020, it was $11. The company has been kind of going through its ups and downs. The highest it's ever been was back here in 2025 at $25.14, and now we are nearing that all-time high. I like the company long term. I think the CEO is great. Anthony is an incredibly smart person, but overall, I think the company is something I am looking at closer to maybe add into a new position, but I like it in the long term. And of course, we can scroll down Robinhood, hedge funds, and of course, insiders, and we can look at where their profitability has been continuing to go up. So it is a very good company, and I would look at it and even add it to my positions. And here's the other thing, full transparency. I did actually do some puts on this, and it was a lot of fun to do. I made some money, you can see right there. So I think overall the company is good. I think it's something you should own. I think I may open a position at some point, but of course this is not financial advice. Always do your own research, but it's just my recommendation looking at where the profitability of a company is going. As always, let me know if you have any more questions on stocks or ETFs. Drop it down in the comments below. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I will see you in the next video.